After a 2 weeks break from sharing the building of our new aluminum boat due to a really special reason, we are back.
We just had a baby. Yes, Ollie, our baby boy, was born on the 6th of September, and ever since, we've been spending hours and hours and hours just learning how to be parents. And that's crazy, it's insanely busy, we don't sleep much, but we are loving. But don't worry, I've been going to the boatyard also every single day and filming the progress of the boat, but it's really hard for us to keep the editing in time to have one episode a week, so I cannot guarantee you that we're gonna have a new episode next week, but what I can guarantee you is that this episode is a really cool one. But if you're not up to date, let me give you a quick recap of what happened on the boatyard for the past couple months. So after preparing these long aluminum plates, they started tacking welding them together to form the shape of our new boat.
They started with 3 plates under the waterline. Then they added the bottom of the frames and 2 of the watertight bulkheads.
Then they built the bow plate and welded it in place. Then they welded the port side plate, then the starboard side plate and the transom. After that they added 6 frames to the interior of the boat and the final watertight bulkhead, the bow one. And with all that done, they are finally ready for the next big step, the deck. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
One more step. Check! That's so cool. This was the last bulkhead of the boat. Now we have all 9 bulkheads. That means 6 frames and 3 watertight bulkheads, and they are all in place. By the way, they're just stacked in place. They're not it's not the final weld. It's gonna be welded all the way around, all the watertight bulkheads. But for now, that's gonna stay like this because they want to weld the deck in place first, and then they're gonna weld the whole thing. So now the next step is to get the panels ready for the deck. That is composed of 4 panels. They're preparing right now the 2 big ones that go in the front part of the boat. They're gonna weld them together, and then they're gonna transfer to the top of the boat, them together as one piece. But now let's get back to work. I just learned something that I had no idea. He just explained me why he puts a small plate of steel in between the wood from the support and the aluminum plate. The reason for that is because when you heat up the aluminum by welding, it heats up the wood and creates some toxins of the wood because it burns the wood, and this contaminates the aluminum. So by having a steel plate in between, you isolate the aluminum and the toxins from the wood won't get to the aluminum. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. Luckily, he just wrote on his translator on the phone and showed me. I'm like, oh, now it makes sense, because I was not really understanding. I thought it was just to keep the panel flat, but it's not. It's to keep the panel clean, actually. Awesome. So at this point, he already welded all the brackets in one side. The brackets is just to guarantee that the distance in between the plates, you have two plates, the distance needs to be 2 millimeters in between them. And when you weld a bracket in the middle crossing, you guarantee that when you weld, it doesn't move this way. It just fills up the weld. Then they turn around the whole deck. That's a huge piece. And then they gave 2 full lines of weld from the back to the bow of the boat. So that means, I think like 6, maybe even 7 meters long weld. So they gave 2 passes on that. And of course, when you weld such a long line, you get a little bit of deformation on the panels, and that's normal. The ideal is not to have deformation 2 directions. If it's just like this, it's fine. You can put back in place when you weld the deck in position. But as on the front of the boat, we have a hatch for the sail locker just in one side, and right behind you have a hatch for the bow cabin. The deformation is a little bit different from one side to the other, and you get a little bit of warping, and that's okay. Now he's just clamping a straight edge to the panel to make sure that when he welds the second side, that means the bottom side of the panel, he can control the deformation and he can end up with a flat deck. I can't wait to see the deck in place. It's huge. It's gonna be so awesome to be able to walk on the top of the deck. Let's film a little bit more of work first. Good morning. Today's a really special day. I strongly believe today's the day that the deck of the new boat is going in place. Right now they have the longitudinal reinforcement of the deck, below the deck, all welded already, all the frames in place welded already. They just need to add the pipe because we have the chain locker on the foot of the mast, so we have a big pipe going from the mast all the way to the bow. They need to add this pipe. I believe by the end of the day we're gonna have a deck at least sitting on the top of the boat, and that's just gonna be so awesome. I can't wait to walk on the deck and feel the size of the deck. One of the things, I think I said that before, but one of the things I love about this design is that we have a flush deck. So that means we have no, housing or something like it's flat. It's like literally we can put like things to see it. We can hang out on the deck, and it's gonna be a much more open surface. We can fold sails. It's gonna be much better. On our old boat, there was no flat spot anywhere. There was no space to fold a sail if you need to. It's just really complicated. And this one is gonna be just like, I don't know, 6 meters long by 4 meters wide on the feet of the mast. Awesome. I don't know if you can hear me properly because of the noise, but that's the first view of our bow deck. That's so cool. Of course, the deck's not aligned 100% yet because it's just like on the top. But now they can start welding and putting the deck exactly in position. That's so cool. Let's check it out.
Well, as I just mentioned, the deck right now is just sitting on the top of the frames. That means in order to be finally welded in place, there is still a lot of work necessary. They need to get precisely the position of the deck, and they also need to get precisely the angle of the deck, and this was probably the hardest task so far on the building of this boat. And that's what we're gonna show you on the next video, plus the installation of the side decks. When will that be? To be honest, I'm really not sure. I hope by next week or the week following. It all depends on how much time Ollie needs us this week. So I guess we see you guys on the next one.